to try and save Krawi, but it was too little too late. Problem with the pulse bomb in hand is the San Francisco Shock are trying to juggle the point. HeeSang's EMP found little of anything there, Scott, as Vindaim dies again.
Yeah, Vindaim going down is such an important thing. They do get the pick on the Lyar, but that's such an important pick by Cjay.
Big stick going away side there by Proper. That would have been perfect onto Seeker, taking down the main damage dealer of the LA Valiant. But with only a minute to go, Proper's on Genji of all things now. I mean, Vindaim's got the rally. He cannot die in this fight, Scott.
Yeah, he cannot die. He's been getting picked first time and time again, and that's why he has the rally only just now, but that's so important for them. Needs to keep an eye on Nos with his pulse bomb.
Okay, rally up. Pulse bomb for Nos, also getting online in 5%. And look at this, perfect pipe back from the LA Valiant. Yeah. They know they can give a tick here. They know they can go again. Nos is going to be able to juggle the point, and Vindaim's dead. Seeker with a perfect headshot, even a Sonic Arrow of all things. Now Finn, all on his lonesome, is getting dove. A perfect dive, executed flawlessly by Nos and Krawi, but the rest of their team kind of cut to smithereens as Proper on the Genji is putting in mean work with just a vanilla nano. No blade required for Proper. A self-destruct from Krawi to scatter the shock for the time being as Vindaim tries to rejoin the fight on the Lucio.
Yeah, Proper doing Proper things once again, keeping the shock in this team fight.
Nos surely dead. Oh, he's not going to recall, but no, Lyar's go back on the Lucio. Stay alive for maybe 20% longer, and Cjay will get the rush, but it's not going to happen. 2.5 minutes to go for the shock. Still a dicey situation, Scott.
Did you see Proper's face there? He is mad. He is playing mad. He will not lose to the Los Angeles Valiant. The resources go into him. He gets the nano, and that's just enough for them to close out that fight. But Shock are not playing clean right now. They're not getting value out of their ultimates. They're not able to stay alive, and now they have to climb that mountain of this second point. So you can see the Valiant already taking the high ground.
Blade available, EMP charged, ready to go. Up on the high ground, and look at that. Clear open skies too for HeeSang to land a big EMP. Even just a manual hack here on Seeker. Oh, goes for the 180. EMP lands. Seeker just gets annihilated. And there's Proper with the cleanup. No blade required for the San Francisco Shock as they take control of the point. A quick and clean team wipe here is what Valiant really needs, Scott.
Yeah,
smart. Proper. Is that 4 kills? Almost 5. Wow.
Smart to die on the point there. Slow down the cart progress, because this back half of the second point is where it really gets difficult. Nice for the Shock that they were able to win that with just an EMP. So now Proper has the blade, and there's no sound barrier and no Baptiste for the Valiant to deal with that.
One
Proper
small
could
Suzu.
go crazy.
Nice hack onto Cjay. Forces Suzu himself. Kitsune rush on the point. His last breath used to use that ultimate to try and find a stabilization kill. Seeker almost goes down to the bomb. Dodged it real life there as well. Lyar kills Junbin, but remember, the spawns are so close to the Valiant right now, but Proper's still got that blade. A nano boost available too. Blade pulled. Seeker in his sights. The support. There's no chance for you now, LA Valiant. Proper's got a blade, and he's getting the kills. Cjay, you can't even touch. No supports available, and the San Francisco Shock will tie the series.
That's just a Proper diff. Just Proper diff, I think. He came in clutch. Yes, the Shock were giving him the resources. They were playing around him, but Proper brilliance is the thing that ends up dismantling this Los Angeles Valiant setup.
Once again, and like you said, it was Proper's brilliance. The nano blade in this situation, rather strong as everybody's trying to touch the point, Scott.
Yeah, that's it. And the San Francisco Shock equalized. They needed to, and they do. And this is going to be a long series here for the Shock. We're heading over to Junkertown, which is a very different map, not very Ramattra favored, which isn't good for the Los Angeles Valiant, but let's see what tank Shock put in. Let's see what DPS the San Francisco Shock put in.
Finzana there looking rather scared, but you shouldn't be because Proper had nano and a blade. Yeah, he looked a bit angry actually in the player cam, Scott, after that 4K. He was, I feel like, kind of annoyed that they're losing these very early fights on Blizzard World, and then he was like, you know what, I'm going Genji, I got this, 4K, boom, hits the Dragon Blade and takes the win for the San Francisco Shock. Proper go kill is a reason why it's a phrase.
It's a valid strategy for the San Francisco Shock. It feels like it's been going on for a really long time, and I know there are haters, I know there are doubters of the Propers, but he's so good. Just look at what he did. He turned that map around for them, and he's going to need to keep going Super Saiyan to keep the San Francisco Shock in the series, while the Valiant trying to hold on for a very important person, Jack.
It will put a thorn in the side of Proper, or a hack, if you will. Although, speaking of which, that nade from Finn was juicy. Even Krawi's taken a lot of damage too. You've got to at least get one. Vindaim overextending once again, but I mean, Proper's still behind them. Yeah, Seeker, he's not in front of you, buddy. He's right behind you. And the Shock are going to hold for the time being. Finn has the Nano already. I'm curious if Proper, I feel like it's just going to be like, save Nano for me. We have EMP coming up, and then we kind of stagger these ults out.
Walking into a trap every time that you walk past this choke into the Shock.
Real David versus Goliath moment here for Nos. Going up against Proper's Genji. Oh, nice stun. Proper 40 HP. How is he so far in the sky? Worked in his favor though. It's all good. Proper pulls the blade, gets slammed again though, and now you're fighting into annihilation. That ticking damage that you can't avoid. It forces him all the way back. Actually has to rely on the safe embrace of Vindaim there to get him back to near full HP to get back to the rest of his team. The Valiant, they do use Annihilation, stop Proper getting too much value from the blade, and they are getting cart progress, Scott, for Cjay and the Valiant. There it is, a whole heap of damage. HeeSang just trying to play a distraction game right now as the self-destruct used to remech. No kill, but Proper comes up with one. Rather big one at that. No dive partner for Seeker now, so he has to play a little bit more carefully. He's got a pulse bomb soon, but this damage coming out from Finn on the high ground, just sniping Cjay. Doesn't have to worry about the rest of his team. A pulse bomb from Seeker does land on his mark, but Proper's still here and he's got a reset dash. EMP is gonna be good for it. Nos gets back from spawn just in time to see the payload tick down. Overtime is through, and not a single point there for Valiant.
But as you said, Jack,
I mean, they got EMP.
You get multiple fights if you are able to hold that close. We've seen this from the London Spitfire recently as well. They might potentially rush out of this window, try and take this mega health pack that you can see in that room in the bottom right, and then do the same thing. Contest the cart. Yeah, there you go. They step in. They're once again contesting the cart from the room. But an EMP.
EMP hits for, I mean, that is just a slaughter. The Valiant, I mean, they had to have known, they should have known. HeeSang has EMP there, but you have to go for that hold. As indeed, have been sitting all the way in the scenery here, waiting for Proper to earn the blade so he can just send him in and he can kill things. Window for Cjay, used very early. Oh, Proper interrupts the EMP! Oh no, no EMP. They still got a Blizzard, but that might just be it. There's the sound barrier and Proper still holding onto blade. Finn's got the nano boost. This is disaster in the making, and there is Proper, and the kills just keep on racking up. The San Francisco Shock are gonna crack the defense. A beautiful follow-up to that cancellation of the EMP, and you can see Scott, I mean,
Proper is elated.
Yeah, he looks very happy right now in the player cams. It looks like he just wants his series over.
It does. And he's making sure it does end very, very quickly right now.
That is what's happening.
Yeah, he is just in full control of this series. Valiant have no answers to what's going on there every single time. And they go into sort of this break here thinking, how do we deal with this Proper Genji? Because one of the major answers of dealing with it is to play that Winston just here if you're the Valiant. Do you play something uncomfortable but will work better against what the Shock are doing? Or do you just stick with what you're good at and hope it starts working?
Man, I'm sure we'll get a replay of the cancellation of the EMP, but that was another big tool they could use to shut down Proper, and then Krawi can just kind of boop, boop, punch him, and he'd have died pretty quick. So, yes, he's just that good. I mean, Proper's really been sticking it to the LA Valiant over the last couple of maps. As soon as he locked that Genji, man, as soon as he locked that Genji, the kills started racking up.
Why, when I play ranked and someone tilt swaps Genji, it never works as successfully as this? Maybe I should just duo with Proper more and my problems will be solved.
Ah, yes, duoing with Proper.
I'll reach
something
out.
You're known
I'll reach out.
Yeah, I'll reach out. He's sliding in the DMs, bro. I think he's going to leave you on red.
Look at this stat card. 17 eliminations, 9 final blows, 1 death. Honestly, he's just running around and even flying around through the air for free.
Yeah.
Just doing whatever he needs to do. Honestly, I do want to give some credit to the Shock. They are playing well around that. I think HeeSang Sombra looks a lot more tempered than Proper, and that enables Proper to have more space. They're forcing the ultimates out of the Valiant and enabling Proper to be that difference maker. And when push comes to shove, Proper is him.
Proper really do be him. Haters silenced after that map. Cancelled Seeker's EMP just a moment before this clip. and they just had way too many ults. I mean, it was a tough hold for Valiant, to be fair. You have to go fast, and they do so. They use that shout to get a little bit of positioning as Proper sending himself to the skies there. But there you go. There's what you don't want to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, you are diving the backline, yes, but Junbin is just going to turn around, hit Nemesis form, and just start blasting.
And Lucio Brig just doesn't have that much sustainability throughout a long team fight. It's what we saw during the Jokes meta back last year, where teams just played as this 5-person death ball, and the Lucio Brig AoE healing.
So that's for sure. Now Finn can just hold high ground. This is going to be incredibly tough to actually assail for this comp now.
Yeah, he's so free just sitting up here. Vindaim is just acting as a bodyguard to Finn on the Ana. And you can see the Valiant.
Oh, nice boop though.
That's a great play.
Yeah, now it looks like Junbin tried to save him there. There's the nano as Finn ends up going down, but it is onto Proper, of course. Lyar trying to kite, and he does so unsuccessfully, running into the Annihilation. That was a good attempted dive and a nice boop by Lyar, stopping Finn from sitting free on the high ground, but he got that nano off just in time.
Barry came at the perfect time. And now, once again, this is probably the most important fight for the Valiant to take. They have the tools, they have the weapons, but Vindaim has the answer.
It's Blade versus Blade, Proper versus Nos, but Seeker could shift it in their favor with that overclock. There's the Blade from Proper. He gets Suzu, so he gets booped away, but no, perfectly lands on Seeker and Nos's head. Hunts them down with precision. The San Francisco Shock now with 5 members up. Just have to wipe the Valiant, and with a minute to go, it is looking like a Shock 3-1. They had the tools, Scott, but they didn't rip any of them. They only used the Blade.
But Seeker doesn't need many options. He has the overclock. Can he do it once again?
Shout to save Lyar there. He was going pretty low after he got antied. Now an overclock available for Seeker as they do rush onto the point.
Great disengage.
Oh, now he's lining him up to knock him down, but it's actually Lyar that takes a quick nap. There's Vindaim in the sky. Seeker finds one, has to dodge away from Proper, who's reflecting, but he's still doing damage, and that's what they need. They need to chunk people out so Krawi and Lyar and Cjay can rush forward and finish off these kills. Overtime approaching now.
Yeah, the Valiant, they're trying to find more value.
They gotta get picks.
Ooh, dangerous by Seeker, shooting the deflector Proper.
Finn on the high ground, on the flank, and with the nano. I mean, there's Nos here. They do actually nano jump in instead of Proper this time around. I know, crazy to think about. Sound barrier from the Shock, and that should just be it. There's just way too many ults for Valiant to bear, and that will be the San Francisco Shock taking the 3-1. For this series is going to be Proper.
Has to be Proper. He literally is individually turned this series around on that Genji, just going absolutely ham, just slicing and dicing the Los Angeles Valiant. And while we watch these highlights, Jack, I have to ask you the question. You said, can they just keep riding on this? This Genji will not work against the Atlanta Reign. It will not work against the Houston Outlaws. It will work against the Valiant, a team that has limited flexibility, but the Genji is a very niche pick in this meta right now against teams that aren't willing to play the Winston.
Right. As soon as you go up against a good Winston team, I think Proper is going to have to answer for his crimes in this series. I mean, Genji does look super sick.
Yeah, and Genji is a solid hero in the right circumstances, and Proper putting on a masterclass of why. Just look at it, 24.5 eliminations per 10.
Over 20 minutes.
14.5 final blows per 10. But honestly, the thing that impresses me the most is the 2 deaths per 10. Yes, we see this number be quite low when people are playing Tracer, but it's hard to punish a Tracer. Genji, on the other hand, is quite difficult to stay alive. There's so many tools and weapons that people can use against you that you don't have answers for.
Yeah.